Hello students, myself Vivek Kumar, and today in this video lecture we are going to study about proteins and amino acids. After the completion of this video lecture, you all will be able to answer what are proteins, what are amino acids, what are peptide bonds, how are amino acids linked to each other in a protein molecule, what are the structures and functions of proteins. Now before we start, let us understand the objective of this video lecture. So why we need to study about proteins and amino acids? Because it find use in various fields like protein engineering, where we develop useful or valuable proteins. Also in structural protein engineering, which involves pre-mediate change of amino acids and is usually based on the known 3D structure of given protein. It also find use in the growth of body. There are many different types of proteins in our body. They all serve important role in our growth, development and everyday functioning. They also act as major component of the body and also find use in curing different diseases. What is protein? The word protein came from a Greek word proteos. Proteins are like long necklace with different shaped beads. Each bead is a small molecule called amino acids and they are linked to each other through a bond known as peptide bond. That amino acid basically composed of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Large biomolecules or macromolecules which performs a vast array of functions with organism including transport as in hemoglobin, structural strength as in collagen, enzyme, hormone, antibodies, etc. All protein are made up of 20 amino acids that act as their building blocks. Proteins are important components of every cell in our body. For example, hemoglobin protein present in blood carries oxygen in your blood to every part. Ion channel protein present in brain and nerves control brain signaling by allowing small molecules into and out of the nerve cell. They also act as enzymes that are present in saliva, stomach and small intestine. Cellular construction worker. Huge cluster of protein form molecule machines that do your cell heavy work such as coping genes during cell division and making new proteins. They act as antibodies which helps defend your body against foreign invaders such as bacteria and viruses. They also act as cellular messengers like receptor proteins which signals to partner proteins on the inside of the cell. They are present in muscles called actin and myosin which enables all muscular movements. They are present in hair and nails. A protein called alpha keratin forms your hair and fingernail and also is the major component of feather, wool, clothes. Protein types. Structural proteins like actin and tubulin give shape and structure to cell or organelles. Enzyme proteins catalyzes biological reactions. They either accelerates the reaction or slows the reactions down as per the need. Examples are trypsin and adenyl cyclase. There are receptor proteins. They binds to other molecule and transmit signals like steroid R, glutamate R. And there are certain other also like antibodies which are also known as immunoglobulins. They produced by the immune system to help stop intruder from harming the bodies. Hemoglobin acts as a transport protein which transports oxygen. Likewise, lipoproteins transport lipids. Storage protein serves as biological resources of metal ions and amino acids used by organisms. Insulin helps in regulation of blood sugar level. Likewise, growth hormones regulates growth. Protein deficiency and excess. Protein deficiency symptoms are always observed when either protein or energy is deficient. Extreme food energy deficiency is marasmus. Extreme protein deficiency is Kawasaki. The two diseases overlap most of the time and together are called PEM, protein energy malnutrition. World's most widespread malnutrition problem. It includes both marasmus and Kawasaki and states of overlap. The another problem is hunger. It's a physiological craving for food. It results in progressive discomfort, illness, and pain. Till now, we have studied that proteins are made up of amino acids that are connected to each other through peptide bonds. Now, what are they? What are these amino acids? These amino acids are derivative of carboxylic acid formed by substitution of alpha hydrogen for amino functional group. These amino acid they consist of a alpha carbon to which hydrogen carboxylic group amino group and a R group is attached. This R group varies and determines the structure function of the amino acids. In this lecture we are going to learn of protein structure and what exactly is protein. A protein is basically a polymer consisting of many amino acids. So each amino acid are represented by circle is a monomer that forms a protein. When we have many amino acids, they are also called polypeptide, and the bond that connect each individual amino acid residue is peptide bond. So let's talk about individual amino acid. An amino acid has carbon with hydrogen attached to it and an amine group as well. Also it has R group and a carboxylic group. Now let me draw another amino acid next to it. The left side of this amino acid where nitrogen is attached is called N-terminal and the other side in which carboxylic acid is attached is called C-terminal. Now we will see how protein is formed. When these two amino acids can react with each other through condensation reaction, then we are going to lose water. Now these two connect to form one molecule. Now once water is removed, a peptide bond is formed between two. This is also called dehydration reaction because we are losing water, and so the product obtained is protein. Now let me attach the other amino acid with it. This oxygen is removed with water. Now let me remove this water from here first and join this with another amino acid. Now this amide bond that formed here is peptide bond. This is peptide bond. This is formed between carbon and nitrogen of one another amino acids, and this bond is a covalent bond and it is very hard to break. Now let's talk about the structure of proteins. There are basically four type of proteins structure. The first one is primary structure, second one secondary structure, likewise tertiary structure and quaternary structure. Now the primary structure is based on the sequence. Sequence determine its shape. If we replace just one amino acid with other, it will completely change the shape of the protein. So we can say that its shape and function depends upon the position of amino acid. Now let's talk about the secondary structure. It describes the localized shape of protein. There are two important things that you must understand in this. The first one is alpha helix and the second one is beta plated sheets. In the alpha helix, you can see it is stabilized by hydrogen bond. The amino group of one amino acid interacts with carboxylic group of another amino acids, and each turn contains about 3.6 residue amino acids. Now let's talk about the beta plated sheets. It too is stabilized by hydrogen bond, that is formed between carbido group of one amino acid and amino group of another amino acid. Now let's talk about the next structure, that is tertiary structure. It represents the 3D complete folding pattern of a protein. Here we have alpha helix and here we have beta plated sheets. Now the tertiary structure is one subunit. When we combine multiple subunits, it forms quaternary structure. Its example is hemoglobin. It has two beta subunits and two alpha subunits.